have understood on PLM and how you will be able to implement if you go into an company. Okay, I will just share the question paper in 2 minutes in the PPT.
Okay.
Until then, you can just. Where are the others? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Tell me.
Uh, Basically, PLM leads major role if you are joining in any like our stream is mechanical in production area. It seems to be very important, where we in like in any aspects like marketing or financial or anything which we have to utilize the things so that the market strategies and the trending should be we have to know the knowledge of that so that we can survive in the industry. Otherwise we can't survive in the industry. So that the trending, if we who follows the trending and the monthly daily updates, they can only survive in this industry, because the competitors are becoming more and more with more smarter with and including technologies also. So that the
Okay.
as the technology moves forward, we have to move with technology also. Otherwise we can't compete or survive in this mechanical based industry, where the concentrating on this industry aspects like in Pipinia area and all. None other industries are getting survived because of not following the trends or moving with the technology. We have to move with technology. So the PLM leads also gives a points where we have to what the thing we have to main concentrate so that we can do. So PLM is also is important.
Okay, PLM is also important. It is important in the production as well as in many other sectors where they are manufacturing the product. It is not only for mechanical products. Okay, so it could be any device, software enabled, yeah, electronic devices, yeah, mechanical devices, yeah, computers related to IT and IS for any kind of production of the devices. This PLM concept has to be implemented along with PDM data. Okay, so then only it helps to fetch us and better yielding result. And if you embed these concepts with respect to technology forecasting and with respect to new product building structures with the concept of virtual reality and all, it will really help in shooting up the market scenario for any product in the market, thereby increasing its sales and services. And also it helps in enhancing the life cycle of a particular product. So it is very much essential to use the concept of PLM in any company or organization where you are going to work in future also. It is a must. So PLM, PDM along with a project manager, these three people go hand in so making a product survive in a market. Okay, so this is very essential. One has to keep in mind. It is not only associated with mechanical related products. Okay.
Um,
Yeah. So now I just wanted to share up. Tejasvi, you just do one thing. You have a WhatsApp group of your students, right? So just post a message to ask the other students to join. I just want to share the question paper and the pattern how it will be. Just post a message in the WhatsApp group, okay, to join them immediately. By the
okay.
time I'll share the PPT.
Okay.
So this, I hope the screen is visible. Yes. Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So it is an last year question paper, June July version 2019 question paper of 8th semester for your subject PLM, which is of the subject code 15 ME 835. So you will be having totally 10 questions. Okay, so 10 questions. So you'll be having two questions which will be coming from each module. It was a PDF file. I was not able to share the PDF file in Google Meet. So I just transferred that into copy paste for the presentation for just for time being. Okay, so first you can see the first module we have two full questions which has been coming. So what is the first question? So what do you understand by this? The first question here is define PLM. List and explain the different phases of product life cycle it is being told. So please, whenever it is being asked, please be careful to write with respect to the question being answered. Okay. So if they ask you to define PLM, please explain what do you mean by product lifecycle management. And the question is list and explain different phases of product lifecycle. If you just list, you won't get the full marks. You should first list all the phases of the PLM product life cycle, and then you have to explain each process, how each stages, how it happens. It is always better if you explain with respect to an example. And usually the pattern will be like you'll be having three sub questions, 1A, 1B and 1C. So you will be having six, and the least marks what you can get in each question is for 4. So based on the weightage of the question, you should be able to answer. Here they haven't asked you like draw the sketch and explain, but it is understood you have to draw the life cycle sketch and then explain its phases. So this is about, and then if they tell you what is PLM strategy and explain, you should list out all the strategies of the PLM which are being implemented right from ideation concept to that of the manufacturing part, how it is thrown into the market, how the marketing strategy comes into the picture. So entire product life cycle management, right from selection, right from idea, planning, designing, material selection, modeling, simulation, analysis, then you check the prototyping part, and then you manufacture the product, and then you implement some marketing concepts. Even you have the production strategy, you have planning strategy, you have manufacturing, how you follow the strategy systematically, and also you have marketing strategies in the PLM. You should not speak about only the marketing strategy, because when it comes to the product life cycle management, we should list out all the categories of the strategies which are available, what we have dealt in the first module, and you should explain it thoroughly. And when it comes to the benefits, they have asked you list the benefits of PLM. So there are many benefits associated with PLM. And there are benefits associated with respect to PLM integrated with PDM also. So in the books also they have given the advantages with respect to PLM and PDM together, and in some books you have specifically for PLM. So please list out the benefits only related to PLM. Don't include the concept of PDM over here. It is asked for 6 marks. You should give good benefits, good list, and if you try to explain the benefits with an example also, it will be really worth for you to gain 6 marks. In numerical subject, if you solve the problem, even the last answer is wrong, for the steps you will get the marks. But in theory, to get 6 marks, you should deliver your best. You might be knowing the answer, but you are not capable enough to trace out in the paper properly, you will lose marks. So be careful. This is your last semester. Scoring of the marks will really play a vital role. So please see that you will write to your best to get the good amount of marks. Okay, so you have to list only the benefits of the PLM here. So what are the benefits? So it helps in improving the time period because you're implementing various strategies right from ideation. So how you get the ideation through the customers, how these ideas are converted into the conceptual design, and how they are converted into the drafting section, and how the modeling part, simulation, prototype, everything you have to explain. Each sector has various benefits, and when this entire thing is implemented to the organization will get good turnover, good amount of sales, and they can compete with other companies who are manufacturing the same type of products. So there are n number of benefits you can go on listing out and explaining. So be sure with respect to the marks asked, you will list the benefits of PLM. So similarly to that, you have the second question. So you have to answer either module 1 or either first question or second. The second question is sketch and explain the PLM as a holistic approach to the management of a product. So now this is for 6 marks. You should see how much you have to write, and even don't write on very much such that you won't get the time to complete the question paper. You should be able to write 5 full questions. Okay, so be careful, stick on to the marks which has been asked. So sketch and explain the PLM with an holistic approach to the management of a product. So how PLM is considered to be as an holistic approach for managing of any product, that you have to figure out. So you have to show why PLM is needed in manufacturing a product, and also how it helps in managing a product which has to be manufactured. Because PLM just speaks about manufacturing a product and managing its time, life cycle management, how it has been managed successfully. So you have to explain each and every stages along with the management concept, how it is being done. Okay, so we have a sketch for PLM as an holistic approach. So you have to draw that sketch for the PLM as an holistic approach, and you have to show how it is an important part in managing any product. So if you just explain with respect to an example also, it will be very much helpful. And you should also speak without PLM how the work process takes on. So there will be delay in the work. There will be in PLM every stages there will be cross checking if any error that could be modified. So everything happens because it will be managed in every stage by stage. If you're not implementing PLM, then there will be no management of each stage of the production. So one will do his section. Suppose the planning people will do the planning, and then the designing people will do, but there will be no managing in between each stages. They'll be not knowing which are the plus points and which are the good outputs they are getting. They might be having good outputs with some drawbacks also. If there is no one to focus on these drawbacks, and if there is no one to focus on managing the time between different stages, ultimately at the end it will end with some losses or the deviations from the required data, and hence it has to be managed properly. As a result, PLM is an holistic approach to manage a product. That sentence should come. First, you will just explain the general process of manufacturing a product. So if PLM is not intervened, what are the lacunas, what are the drawbacks you get, that you have to explain, and how by implementing the PLM, the managing of a product could be improved, could be excelled. That has to come out. And lastly, you can tell, hence due to all these all reasons, we can justify that PLM is an holistic approach to manage a particular product. If you find difficult in telling only product in the beginning only, you can tell that you are taking an example of a particular so and so to show that PLM is a holistic approach to manage this particular product. So anyway, either with example or without example, you should be able to answer to the question which is being asked. So to be ask you the list and explain the various opportunities of PLM. So as one of your friend only told, there are various opportunities which come across when you implement a PLM in a company or an organization. So you have to list out what are these. Once, well, the first one is it helps in improving the life cycle of a product because it focuses on each and every phases. It fine tunes if any error, lacuna, deviation, so that that could be overcome, and it helps in maintaining the product to grab the market for a longer period of time. Secondly, it helps in improving the sales and profit. And thirdly, also it helps in having a consistent consistent profit at the saturation or the maturity phase, and it also helps in stretching out the maturity stage for a larger extent so that the company can enjoy good turnover, good sales and profit, right? And it also helps in competing with respect to the other companies who are manufacturing the same product. So there are many things what you have to list out. After listing out, you have to explain how it provides opportunities. And so but implementing PLM and PDM to a company for the first time will take a large amount of period because you have to embed these two into the database. It usually takes 2 to 3 months if once it has been started. So once that is successfully implemented, then the company will enjoy the benefits in the N number. So you have to list out all those benefits in the PLM case, which is in 1C. And similarly, you have to explain the opportunity. So when you implement a PLM into an organization, what opportunities an organization gets. So it helps in getting a large scale project. So it helps in getting more funds to the company. So if you write a project to DST or any funding agency that you are going to manufacture this product and these are the strategies, these are the methodologies we are going to implement. So then even the funding agencies will be very happy to give funds for the organization or the industries who has implemented PLM, PDM and virtual reality concept into them, so that they know that once PLM, PDM and virtual reality is implemented, the amount of percentage of loss for a particular product will be very low because they get a very optimized, accurate and precise readings and precise outputs for a device or a product, and hence they can easily grab the market. So they will easily get the grants and they can manufacture more number of products. So this is one of the example. Likewise, there are many opportunities which comes out for a company or an organization if they implement the PLM concept into it. So that type of way of presentation should come up. In the textbook, you understand the concept, but when they give a question like this, list and explain the various opportunities of PLM. This is a generalized question, a new way of asking the question. You can answer this kind of question only if you know the depth of the concept of PLM and the outside world in the industry, what is going on today currently. Then you will be able to list and explain beautifully what are the opportunities of PLM in various sectors. It is not the case only in engineering, even in non-engineering streams. Wherever it is needed, you can implement the concept of PLM. And then you have a small question here for 4 marks. So which is, what do you mean by PLM feasibility study? So you have to explain. So you have to justify how feasible the given management process is, product lifecycle management. So feasibility, reliability, how feasible it is. Suppose if you take an example of a machine, if it is reliable, you tell if it provides a good result output for a longer period of time with low maintenance, then you say that it is very reliable. Similarly, how feasible it is, how easy it is, how feasible to implement a PLM in an organization. You have to explain whether you have any complexity in implementing PLM concept, or whether you have complexity in working for manufacturing a product using PLM concept, or if you don't have any complexity at all in implementing PLM, how easily you can implement and how you can gain success in a short period of time. So that also you have to answer. So they ask the shoot the question in such a way the question will be very much generalized, but to answer that question you should be knowing in depth related to the concepts of your module. So don't restrict yourself to that of the textbook. Please refer some case studies, some examples, so that you will be in a familiar way to answer the questions which is being asked in the examination. So this should be the way how you have to present the answers. Okay, so this is about the module 1. So how the questions can come. And then module 2, you have what is engineering design. So everyone know what you mean by engineering design, right? So we had also, this is only for 4 marks. So see the marks. So engineering design, we studied the ancient methodology of design and now existing design. So you can just write a brief out picture related to what you mean by engineering design, how it is important in manufacturing a product, which were the ancient methods which was developed for design process, and what is today's current way of engineering design. So you have to explain not very much in depth, at least brief out the entire thing such that it is useful to get you for 4 marks. So you will just give a beautiful definition for engineering design and you will explain what is being done until now related to that sector, this sector, engineering design. After this, you have a question for 6 marks. Sketch and explain the product design process. So product design also we have studied. We have studied with respect to the block diagram, the step-by-step procedure for designing a particular product. So what you will do is you will just draw a block diagram for product design process and you will explain each stages, stage by stage. Hopefully if you explain with an example that will be well and good. Okay, so like this you have to check the marks and trace out and be very accurate to the question being asked and answer accordingly. So third C will tell sketch and explain the recovery strategy at end of life. End of life means it is the end of life of a product. So the decline stage of the product is called to be as the end of life. Don't get confused what do you mean by end of life, we haven't studied like that. No, it is very much generalized questions here which has been asked. You should be able to understand. So you have to sketch and explain the recovery strategies at end of life. So what are the strategies implemented in order to recover that material and product during the end of life? So there are many strategies. So the recovery, you can recover the material of the product, you can recover the existing design of the product by remodifying it as per the needs of the customer. You can do re-engineering of the product and start up with the growth phase again. So there are many strategies what we implement as per the requirement. And it should also match the criteria whether the product which is in decline stage is in a stage for recovery or not. To recover, the material should be feasible. Okay, so the design should be capable to re-accept the modifications into it. So the existing parental design should be having an opportunity to modify or configure the existing design. If it is not able to, then it is difficult to do the recovery. A new design has to be done. So there are many criteria which a particular product at the end of the cycle should satisfy to go for recovery strategies. Right? So those things you have to explain. So this is under our module 2 for third question. So we had a first question for 4 marks, 6 and 6. So next, the fourth module. So fourth question means it is the second question of our module 2. So what is being asked? Sketch and explain the comparison between sequential and concurrent engineering in product development process. So this also we have developed. So what you will do is you will just draw a simple sketch to show what you mean by sequential, the stage by stage process. You will draw the block diagram and you will explain how in sequential process foreign product takes place, and how an product is developed using an concurrent engineering. So if you are able to list out the differences, yeah, the advantages of both, yeah, advantage over one over the other also, it will be beneficial. Just it is a simple question with simple block diagrams you will write, and you will write about what you mean by the sequential and concurrent engineering, and you can also list which is more feasible and convenient in these two, or for which type of cases sequential engineering is preferable, or in which type of cases concurrent engineering is feasible. And if you are aware enough, at least the name of the companies or the industries which are implementing sequential or concurrent engineering process, that also you can name it up. So that helps you in fetching a good marks, I'm telling you, because that shows that you are aware about today's external world along with the topic. So the examiner will be happy to see that you are substantiating this subject until the application level. So you know right from the concept to where it is being applied as per the Bloom's taxonomy application process. So that will help you to score more. So always it's better to speak with respect to the examples. So next up question is, in the second module, list and explain the most common DFX techniques used in product design and development process. So DFX is nothing but design for X. So design for X as well around 6 to 7 criteria. So if all those 6 to 7 criteria are matched, then you tell it is designed for X technique or design for X methodology. So you have to list out all those criteria. It is only for 6 marks. If you go on explaining each criteria, it takes more than 4 to 5 pages. So you can just brief out each criteria, the main important points of it, and how you can achieve success, profit, and enhancement in the life cycle with reduced loss and improved accuracy that you can substantiate for 6 marks exactly. And last is explain the human factors to be considered in product design. Today one of your students spoke about the ergonomical factors which has to be considered in product design. That is also a very important factor. If the product is not designed as per the ergonomical factor, then it cannot withstand in the market for longer period, because this people then starts blaming, saying that this is not done, this is not done, and this is feasible not. If we use this for a longer period of time, we'll get our neck pain, leg pain, back pain. So many things it comes into picture when it has been used by a human. And as a result, the essential, the importance of the human factors have to be studied in any product design. See example, simple table and chair. If the height of the table and back supporting of an chair is not designed as per the human needs, then a person cannot sit in a chair and table for a longer period of time. He will tell that the height of the table was very high, the height of the chair was very small, I could not rest properly on my back, it was not comfortable to sit for a longer time. So many this type of statements comes if the table and chair is not designed as per ergonomical factors, and hence there is an importance of human factors that has to be considered in any product design. So in this way you have to present the answer for the asked question with a beautiful example, so that it will really help you to score good marks. So this is about the fourth question. So fourth and third covered our second module. So then we are coming for the third module. So what has been asked? Sketch and explain the various activities of a new product development. So see here, now the marks has changed for 8 marks. So you have to write the answer such a way that you will get 8 marks minimum. So you have to sketch and explain various activities of a new product development. It is not like for every new product you haven't sketched in the textbook. You should be able to figure out a sketch for a new product development. How will be the process? You have studied what is product development. You have studied what is new product development, right? So you should be able to know the difference between the two. So what all stages comes if it is a new product development? Just draw it in the form of block diagrams or in the type of a flow chart. Each and every stage which comes in a new product development, that will cover your sketch. Then start explaining the each stages or the levels which come across a new product, right from documentation of the needs from the customer, drafting into the goal or planning or the aim or the agenda of that particular project, and similarly, and then how these concepts will be figured out into conceptual design. Conceptual design will be then selected as an design by a design engineer. Among around 10 to 12 conceptual designs, he will select which is the best one, terming that this is a competitive design. So based on that competitive design, then the material selection, all those things takes place. So for everything you cannot make stage by stage, so you have to segregate into main sectors and write it as a block diagram and explain what all activities are essential in a new product. Even the marketing, campaigning, everything comes into picture. I have drawn few block diagrams in the class also related to this. So please have a look of it. If you won't remember in the examination, but if you know the concept, at least you can trace out some block diagram with respect to the stages. But see that you will prepare well before going to the examination. You will sometimes get very generalized questions. You should be knowing to answer and tackle the questions, whether it is asked directly or indirectly. So all are almost generalized questions here. So now fifth B, again this is for 8 marks. How do you estimate the market potential of a new product? Estimating the market potential for a new product is very much difficult. Okay, so it becomes easy and comfortable if you're implementing that with the virtual concept, or else it is very difficult. If it has to substantiate a good market, always a new product should be in collaboration in more than one company. It could be within the country or it could be across the world globally. Always if it is across the globe, if you have collaboration with industries across the globe, then you will be able to capture the market in more than one geographical location for the same product. So at least in one location it fails, in other location it can capture the market. So the chances of getting the loss in the for that particular product will be very less. Okay, so in this way, you should with an example, you should able to estimate the market potential for new products. Even mobile phones, n number of upgradations in the mobile smartphones are coming. It is capturing the market not only in a place where it has been manufactured across the world. Example, iPhone. It's not manufactured in India, but still it has captured the market of India also, not only India, many countries around the world. So how? Because they have, when first time iPhone was launched, it was a new product. How did it help in capturing the entire world market? Due to its quality, right? Due to its ergonomical design, compactness, comfortability for the users. So many other strategies. Right, so all these things, and also they have done a good marketing campaign in the beginning. So once the customer comes to know the quality of the product, any versions of it, if it comes, then no need of doing the marketing for that, because they'll be having the name, fame, and the brand of that product already in the market. Only the thing is, you are adding the extra versions into the market. So you should be able to put forward in this way. So this is how you estimate the market potential for a new product. So this is about the third module. So you have the last part. What is decision support system? How it is helpful in decision making? Explain. So you have to tell what you mean by decision support system. So we have a support system which helps to take the decision, whether it's right or wrong. To tell whether it's right or wrong, you should be having some manipulation, some analysis, some calculation, some computations, which helps in telling how you take a proper decision. So all the in case of a product we are speaking. So that could be a normal product or a new product. Since it is in the third module, you can focus this only related to our new product development. So how you'll take the decision regarding the new product development, whether the idea generated for a new product, is it feasible or not? Can it capture the market? Will it be economically suitable? How you take decision. So mainly it plays a vital role in identifying the ideation process, whether that could be implemented practically into the product. So how you take that decision? To take that decision also there are many strategies what we have to follow. So all those you have to explain. And then you have a question, with the aid of a flowchart, explain the process of launching and tracking a new product. So now also it's an example. So always I told you be ready with a case study. So also be ready with a case study for a new product. So if you study that case study entirely, you'll come to know the process, well, which has to be followed right from launching a new product to the market and tracking it records. So how to track the record when the market is onto the when the product is onto the market? When it is onto the product, there will be no sale and no profit. So how it moves in the growth period. So all those things has to be tracked from the introduction to growth stage. They'll increase in sales and profit. So again in the maturity stage, how it is growing. Again after maturation, it is come back to the decline stage. So entire life cycle of a new product has to be launched and tracked. So how you do it? With a flow chart, you have to explain. And next, define technology forecasting. So this was about the third module. And we know that fourth module is based basically on technology forecasting. Technology forecasting is a very important subject, part and parcel of PLM, because technology forecasting helps in improving the life cycle of a management, reduce losses, reduce the investment cost. And there are many methodologies and tools what we follow. Today, one of your classmate by Edwin explained all the methodologies. So you have to define here what you mean by technology forecasting, and you have to explain why it is very important in any company or an organization. Even this is very much general. They haven't asked you methodologies or the tools which is there in the textbook. You have to explain why this is so important. It is so generalized question. To answer this, you should be knowing, you should be very strong enough in understanding what you mean by technology forecasting, how it helps an industry or an organization, even a small scale or a large scale industry. For that, at least you should be knowing one case study where they have implemented successfully. So if you have gone through those case studies, you will be able to answer in general to any question being asked. Okay. So they understand, explain any one method of technology forecasting. So there are various methods. Good, they have asked you to explain only one method. So beautifully, you can just list all the methods and explain any one which is more convenient and comfortable to you. Okay. So that will help you in providing. So 8A, sketch and explain the importance of relevance tree by taking automobile as an example. So here again they are asking you to explain the relevance tree, how relevant the tree of product lifecycle management is with the implementation of forecasting technology. So that you should explain with by taking an example of any automobile vehicle. It could be a two-wheeler, a truck, a four-wheeler, a auto, or anything related to the automobile applications. You have to take one example and show how forecasting technology is relevant in any product manufacturing. That will show you the relevance tree of a particular product, how relevant it is. You should be able to put forward. For that, you should know a beautiful example. So please be ready with the examples. So last question is under fourth module, list and explain the importance of ideation tools in innovation process. So we dealt about various ideation tools which are being used in innovation process. In forecasting technologies, many innovation processes are implemented to enhance the life cycle, the quality, the accuracy, the precision, and to select the optimized way for production process. And as a result, there are various ideation tools which are implemented. So you should be knowing to list out which are the ideation tools used, and you have to explain the importance of these. Okay, so this is how you get the question. So this is about the technology forecasting. And the last module. So the last module was related to our this one, product building and structures with an intervention of virtual reality, right? So what is being asked here, what is model building, why the building of models is necessary, how do you classify them, explain. So this is for 6 marks, right? So when it comes for virtual reality manufacturing, you should be having the database, and they will create various theoretical models, and you will be having different model buildings based on different criteria, so that you can select any of the model building process for the criteria which suits for your area of application. So based on that, we studied the model building is theoretical mapping also in the fifth module. So you have to just tell what you mean by model building, why it is necessary, and how you have classified. Classification also I have explained you based on different criteria, there are different model building things. So list out, classify, and explain its importance such that it is equivalent for 6 marks. So you have 9B, in that we have product structures and digital mockup. So we have studied what do you mean by product structures. We have studied different type of product structures, organ structures we have studied, and also the various other type of structures we have studied, and combination of all these structures together makes a structure matrix, that also we have studied. So you have to tell the importance or write a small paragraph on product structure and it's important. And later you have digital mockup. So what do you mean by digital mockup? Why it is needed? Okay, so that also we have explained. So that this is also helpful in our virtual manufacturing only. So you have to explain both the terms. So this is about the ninth question. Or else 10th question is you have to explain all these for 10 marks. So total this is for 16 marks. So 16, and you have 4 questions, right? So basically, as per the marks allotted, you should be able to write the information. So data model. Today, one of your student or friend explained about the data modeling. Data modeling in product structure, why it is been needed. Data modeling plays a vital role with the intervention of PDM to PLM. So that you have to show also how it is beneficial to the virtual reality, virtual manufacturing techniques. And product configuration. What do you mean by product configuration? Every product will be having a configuration. And this configuration keeps on varying and keeps on updating. Why? They have to substantiate the market, they have to tackle the growing world, and they have to capture the market, and they should enjoy the sales and return. For that, the product configuration should be updated always. So which are these product configurations? We have studied in the fifth module. So you have to explain those. And then 3D CAD systems. What is the importance of three-dimensional CAD systems when you build a virtual prototype? It is very much essential. How we analyze the 3D CAD systems. All those things you have to explain. And last is variant management, which is a very important factor which comes while doing virtual prototyping and manufacturing of a new product. So you can have variants which are positive and negative also. So how do you manage this variant parameters without removing it and without making harm for the product also. How you manage this variance, because variance could be plus points or negative points which usually come across. Irrespective of whether it is positive or negative, you should be able to manage it successfully. So that is nothing but our variant management, which is essential in a new product development in case of building a product or building the structures, including variants. So that also we have studied variants which are in existence in our product structures. So how do you manage it? All those things you have to explain. So this will really help in understanding how it exactly helps in upliftment in company or an organization, and it is very much important also. So now you saw the question paper, it is very much generalized. So to answer this, it is not necessary that you will by heart. You should be knowing the concept, you should be knowing the block diagrams and sketches where to write which, and you should be knowing example with respect to each module, how they have implemented these with respect to any, and you should be knowing the name of the organization or a company and the products what they have manufactured based on all techniques involved in module 1 to module 5. So if you know this much, you can write in your own answer beautifully, present it properly, you should be having good writing skills, then you can excel well. Hope you understood how the pattern of the question paper will be. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Himanshu, can you just speak out related to any topic?
Ma'am, I'll say about stages of product life cycle management
Okay. Mm-hmm.
with the reference to product design, ma'am, the design stage
Okay.
and the development stage.
Okay.
What all processes and stages are there in design process, and
Yeah.
what are the stages in development process.
Yeah, please tell me.
Uh, Ma'am, during design process, so first we know what are the needs of the customer, what are the needs of the customer, and how the product should be designed on the accordance of the need of the customer.
Okay.
And this starts with the idea generation, ma'am. How how the product should be, what are the machining should be done to the product to manage it and to make it comfortable for the customer,
Okay.
and the conceptual design which includes to make it happen. Some softwares are there for PLM development, such as Autodesk, ANSYS,
Mm. What are
and
these? Autodesk, ANSYS, what are these?
ma'am, these are the designing softwares, ma'am, for 3D
Okay.
and 2D designs.
Okay. Okay.
This do not include in the development part, because
Okay.
development part consists of production,
Hmm.
machining,
Hmm.
and how development part also includes the delivery of the product, like sales, services. These all are the part of these are the part of the development process. And these software, ANSYS, CAD, these are the software which include in design process.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. But still, see, you have to improve your communication skills when now you go outside as an engineer, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you should be still be able to speak confidently. Okay, for that you
Ma'am,
should be aware of the concepts.
I wasn't prepared that much. So,
Yeah, it's okay. I do understand, but the next time you should improve.
okay, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
done. So, did you have a look of the syllabus, question paper, how it will be?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so it is very much generalized. Hope you can understand.
Okay, ma'am.
So you should be able to answer for such kind of generalized questions. So you should be knowing in and around the world what is happening with respect to our subject PLM and
Okay, ma'am.
PDM. So then you should be able to present still more better.
Okay, ma'am.
So you have to study at least one case study related to each module so that you can explain with an example.
Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Then it will help, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then take care.
Sure. Thank you,
Yeah,
ma'am. You too.
yeah. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Shaurya. Hello, Shaurya, you are here.